What's going on, guys? Joey Franzel here with Flex Training Systems. Today, I wanted to talk about the deadlift a little bit just because I recently posted on my Instagram a screenshot of something that was posted on Menno Henselman. He posted it on his Facebook. He is the, he created Bayesian Bodybuilding, which is his brand, I suppose. He coaches, powerlifters, bodybuilders, but he's, the guy's like a living nomad. He's always moving around. Got a pretty decent physique himself. And in the past, he's always said how, the deadlift is an inefficient movement for bodybuilders. And then he provides, arguments as to why. But for powerlifting, obviously it's practical. But when I made the post, he started talking about just not training the conventional deadlift specifically as frequently, and that you can bring up the conventional deadlift training other things. And it's very interesting, the timing of this, because for the past 2 months, I've only deadlifted 4 times, and I've been having, some good results, and I thought I might share those results with you guys, or just, how I've been feeling, what I've been going through, and maybe you guys can take something away from it and apply it to your own training. If you work with me, don't worry about it. I got your back. But I might start implementing some of this stuff now that I played with it myself. And I have done some things with certain people in the past when we're dealing with injury, but let's get into it. So basically, when I deadlift, I have a very long torso and I round my back a lot. I also have a funky right hip, and I use a mixed grip, right? So I kind of have everything you don't want for deadlifting. So whenever my deadlift volume would get pretty high in volume, I'll start to have a pain somewhere that will prevent me from training it consistently. Fun fact, for the 2016 Arnold, I only deadlifted a total of like 10 singles over the course of, I think it was like my last 5 weeks into the meet, just because that's all I could do. Back then it was my lower back. My lower back is like solid now, and I'm starting to have like just weird issues with minor scoliosis in my upper back. And my hip, just being really pissed off from doing a ton of deadlift volume. So what I have found is if I can deadlift not as frequent, but train, similar muscles, or perhaps, exactly what I'm doing for myself is I'll deadlift, like for example, tomorrow, it's been, 14, 13 days. It's time to deadlift again. And then the following Monday, deadlift on Mondays, I'll do high bar squats instead, and then I'll alternate. It could be a high bar squat, it could be a low bar squat, it could be whatever, as long as I'm using the glutes. Glutes are the main mover in the lift, and training my grip somehow. During that week that I am not training the conventional deadlift specifically, I should be okay. If you're one of those people that likes to track volume like intensely, it's not going to work, obviously, because you could track like monthly volume, or like every 2 or 3 sessions, whatever. And I've had fun. I've been able to increase my weights every single week. I haven't trained the lift in 2 weeks, so when I come in, I'm the aches and pains that I normally have, I don't have them. It's almost like the time off of the lift, you build up a tolerance and some durability. You apply a stress, give everybody time to recover from it. So next time you do it, you don't hurt as bad. When you're doing it, it's kind of like when I first started squatting like heavy consistently, you get these little like micro fractures in your shins, and it hurts. But if you space that lift out enough, you can heal through it. And then, I don't really, occasionally, if I'm really pushing the weights, I'll feel it here and there, but I think I found the right frequency for me. I was ripping, 465, then 5, or a little under 500, then a little over 500, then 525. and my singles have been going up, so it's fun. I like doing it. And I think for me personally, I used to dread. I was talking to you guys know Cookie Callie. You guys know Cookie Callie. Callie, I know you're not gonna hear this, but if you do, what's up? If one of your homies hear this, I hope they say what's up to you from Joey Flex himself. But anyway, she responded to what I posted, and I was telling her what I'm about to share with you guys, and that is, I would dread going into the session. I would literally be like, fuck, I have to go deadlift. My back kind of hurts. My hip is kind of bothering me. And I didn't want to have to think about that when I should be thinking about, like, bracing and training and just getting the lifts done. And it would also limit the loads that I could use. And it just made deadlifts a very unpleasant thing for me. So what did I do? I was like, you know what? Let me try to space that a little bit more. Now it's like I'm excited to come in and train the lift because nothing's hurting. I know that it's going to be decently strong because I haven't done it in a little while. My grip feels fresh, and it makes it an overall more pleasurable thing. So I can actually attack, training and be positive and productive about it versus just feeling like I'm in pain and I'm going to cause myself. It's like when your body knows that you're gonna go through something that's gonna cause you pain, you're almost like hesitant and you can't give it full force. Not that I've ever let that stop me when if I'm on the platform or something and something hurts. I mean, too bad, you gotta live. But it's definitely helped. Just with my mentality going into that deadlift session, and also when I'm not deadlifting, I get to work on high bar squats or train my legs a little bit better, and then I get to do more rowing, or maybe I'm doing stiff leg deadlifts or straight leg deadlifts or something that doesn't tax me as hard as heavy conventional mixed grip belted round back deadlifts. So I've had great results from doing that, and I'm going to ride it out as long as I can. I'm hoping that in a combination of me being smaller, my deadlift, just the lockout will improve. Plus, implementing these keys. I mean, I've been doing it for a while now, but it was just crazy that Menno had posted that. I was like, hey, this can kind of, shed some light on what I'm doing and let people know that, hey, this is a thing. It's not really that new of a thing. I've heard about this, literally since it's in 2008. 2008 is when I first heard about it. By my mentor at the time. He was just a bodybuilder bro who was ahead of the game. Big fan of Charles Poliquin. And Charles Poliquin was really the only guy that was putting out information that I knew back then that seemed to know what he was talking about. Obviously, I don't agree with everything that Charles Poliquin says, but he's decent. He's pretty good. Better than a lot of people. But really quickly, I wanted to transition, since we are on the topic of deadlifts, into the deadlift grip. I actually recorded this video already, but some time had passed, and I left a few things out, so here we go. Deadlift grip. So you have your mixed grip, you have your hook grip, and you have your kind of like mixed grip, but with the bar sitting in your fingers versus your palms. Really quick, let's get hook grip out of the way. Hook grip is very hit or miss. If you get the pain tolerance down and you're built for it, it shouldn't be a problem. Once you get that going, you don't really hear hook grip people complain or lose their grip. It's something that, if you have long fingers, and depending on the spacing of your digits, you can kind of really wrap your fingers around the bar, get that thumb on there, and you're good to go. Since we're talking about long fingers, let's get into kind of like the finger grip. You could call it a monkey grip if you want. It's where you kind of hold the bar in the bottom of your hand, almost like you would in a hook grip, but your thumb is on top versus underneath, and it's not locked in by your middle finger and index finger. So mixed grip, the bar's sitting lower in your hand. A lot of people try to get away with that because it feels good. And some people can. Some people absolutely can, and they're not going to have issues. But if you're a smaller guy, I've never really seen anyone, under 83 kg do it, just because they tend to have smaller hands. and you're not going to have enough finger to get around the bar and hold it in place. Well, really, all you got to do is get that, that middle digit bent, like consciously think to tense it, and squeeze the bar with it, and like your palm's not even on the bar at all, and you're just holding 700 pounds in your fingers. Some people can do it, especially if you're the type of person who can lock out before your fingernails can reach your quads. That's definitely something to consider. Then you can get away with that long kind of thing, like it's like making your arms a little bit longer by holding the bar in your the bottom of your hand, or not the bottom of your hand, I guess your fingers, and those people tend to do great with hook grip also. But usually either they have a really strong mixed grip that way and they'll kind of stick with it, or their fingers are not strong enough to grip the bar, so they move to hook. This is actually something that Sean Noriega was doing. I guess the bar, I think we had too much movement with the bar in his hand, so he just, he has long ass fingers, so he switched to hook. He's good to go now. So if you have small hands and you're holding the bar in your fingers and you can't, and you're having grip issues and you're locking out above where your nails are hitting your thighs, if you have any of that going on, probably not going to work for you. What I would recommend, if you're like me and you have a big ass palm and small fingers, and you deadlift, at your fucking dick, grab the bar. I grab the bar with my palms, I give it an Indian burn, and I make sure that I am clenching my fist as hard as I can and using my thumbs to push down on my index and middle finger. My lats are engaged, and even, my back is rounding, whatever. My grip is not going anywhere, and I feel strong from like that, and I can fight through, when I used to pull sumo, I can fight through those stickies. That has been an issue that it's so crazy. If I am aware of it and I think about it, it's not going to happen. But if I just go, I remember back it was last year in July, I went to go pull my third deadlift, and I was super amped up and a little out of control. And, I didn't secure my right hand all the way, and I lost grip on my thigh. Which sucks because the weight was going. It was already locking out. My left side was already ready to lock out. But it can happen. And some of you guys listening to this, I know one of you is going to hear this, and you've gone through it recently. That's part of what inspired this video. It's just I'm a little late. Try that mixed grip. So you're gonna go palms on the bar if you have tiny fingers, tiny hands, or tiny hands in general, but tiny fingers, and a big palm like me. You want to get that palm on the bar. You're gonna Indian burn that sumbitch, and you're gonna squeeze it as hard as you can. And also by doing that, you're gonna prevent the bar from rolling. When your hand's kind of loose, the bar's gonna roll as you initiate off the ground, and you're gonna have to deal with all kinds of physics, just the rolling of the weight. It's going to make the lift way harder than it needs to be. So, what grip is best for you? That depends. You got to try. You got to try what grip you like, just like you need to try what deadlift frequency, multiple different deadlift frequencies. Really quick for you sumo guys, if you pull sumo, I don't think you can really get away with sumoing every other week. You might be able to, but sumo is kind of like a squat in that it's also a very partial range of motion, so you can typically hit it more frequently, and you're not going to have half the side effects of a man mode cat back conventional guy. Not that there's anything wrong with pulling sumo. It's just something that I can't even handle it. You know what I mean? My hips get smashed. But anyway, or my hip rather. I hope you guys were able to take something away from this. I've just been thinking about deadlifts a lot lately, and people say, oh, how are you going to give advice on deadlift when your deadlift's not even strong? Usually the people that struggle at something are the ones that look really, really hard to find the answers. I was talking to I'm just going to use Ben Escrow as an example. I don't know if he told me this in person or if he said it somewhere, but usually it's the people that aren't very good at something that want to be good at that something. They're the ones that search for all the answers, and they end up becoming, good coaches. And I know that me coming up, I wanted to know how to be the best that I could be. And it was not something that came very easy. Whereas, like, you have those other guys that are just genetically gifted. They're just going to be at the top no matter what. And they don't really... Their advice would typically be to just train. Because that's worked for them. You know, don't think, just train. And that does work for a lot of people. But yeah, like everything, guys, you have to try it out. I hope you guys were able to take something away from this video. Podcast number 3 is already done editing. Editing. I'm already done editing it. Jesus Christ, I can't talk. So that's going to be up very soon. I also have a video on, squatting that I recorded a while back. But it's good stuff in there, and I got to get it up. So stay tuned for that. If you guys are able to take something away from this video, go ahead and drop a like. Other than that, I will talk to you guys in the next one. Thanks.